Erin was in big trouble. She had no money, no job, and no husband to support her. She was alone with 3 young children, and life as a single mother was incredibly hard. But no matter how tough things got, Erin loved her children more than anything. She wanted to give them a happy and comfortable life. Every day, she searched through the local newspapers, looking for jobs. She made phone calls, went to interviews, and tried her best, but every time, she faced rejection. No one wanted to hire her. It was frustrating and heartbreaking, but she refused to give up. One day, Erin decided to take a different approach. She visited a lawyer named 𝘚𝘌𝘍𝘓. With determination in her eyes, she looked at him and said, "I'm smart, I'm hardworking, and I'll do anything. Please give me a job." It was an unusual way to find work, but Erin didn't care. She had to do whatever it took to provide for her children. Erin wasn't like the other office workers. She didn't always speak politely, she didn't dress in dark suits, and she wasn't afraid to share her opinions. But she worked tirelessly, organizing papers into piles and boxes every single day. However, the job soon became boring for someone as intelligent as Erin. She wanted to do more. To make her days more interesting, she started reading some of the letters and documents in the lawyer's office. She was a careful worker, and she wanted to do her job well. Little did she know, this small habit would change her life forever. One day, while organizing papers, Erin found something strange. Some people's health records were in the same box as their house papers. This didn't make sense. Why are these together, she wondered. Is this a mistake? Curious, she started looking through the big box of documents, one page at a time. It seemed that a huge electricity company, Pacific Gas and Electric Company, PGE, wanted to buy hundreds of houses in a small town called Hinckley, near their power station. But why? And more importantly, why were the homeowners' health records mixed with these documents? That night, Erin couldn't sleep. Her mind kept racing. Was PGE hiding something? Were the people of Hinckley in danger? Erin was already struggling with her own problems. She had little time to worry about strangers. But deep inside, she felt that something was very wrong. She couldn't ignore it. Could she solve this mystery? She needed answers. The next day, she went to her boss, Ed, and told him what she had found. With his support, she started digging deeper. The more she investigated, the more suspicious documents she found in the Hinckley box. Erin realized that this was a serious issue. Something terrible was happening in Hinckley, and no one seemed to know about it. She loved her family and wanted to spend more time with them, but now, she couldn't walk away. She had to find out the truth, no matter what it took. Erin wanted to see her children grow up, to be there for them, but she couldn't ignore what was happening in Hinckley. People there were getting very sick, and she was the only one who had noticed the connection. She knew she had to help. She couldn't just walk away, with courage in her heart. Erin decided to solve the Hinckley mystery, alone. She traveled to Hinckley and spoke with the residents about PGE, their homes, and their health. She wanted to find the truth. Erin wasn't a lawyer, but she had a warm and friendly nature. People liked talking to her. They told her that PGE was a good company. It provided clean water, paid for hospital tests, and gave people jobs, but Erin wasn't convinced. Something didn't add up. She had always been determined, and this time was no different. She needed help and more information, but she wasn't afraid of working alone. She started calling and visiting scientists, doctors, and lawyers, anyone who could give her answers. Every day, she pushed forward, refusing to give up. Then, finally, she found what she was looking for. PGE was poisoning the water near Hinckley. This was shocking. PGE was one of the biggest companies in the US, a company people trusted. But Aaron now saw the truth. They had been lying all along. They said the water was safe, but they were poisoning it. Aaron wasn't rich, famous, or powerful. She wasn't even a lawyer. But none of that mattered. She had made a decision. She would fight against PGE for the people of Hinckley. She had so many questions. How many people had been poisoned? Was anyone still in danger? She needed answers. Aaron returned to Hinckley, determined to uncover the truth. By now, the people knew her. They trusted her. They shared their deepest fears and painful stories. Hundreds of people in Hinckley were suffering from terrible illnesses. Some were dying. As Aaron listened, anger burned inside her. PGE knew what it was doing. The company had been poisoning the water for years. Cleaning it properly was expensive, so instead, they let the dirty, toxic water flow into Hinckley's rivers and drinking supply. And now, they were trying to buy people's houses, not to help them, but to hide their secret. They didn't care about the sick families. They didn't care about the lives they had destroyed. They only cared about protecting themselves from paying for the damage they had caused. Money was a big problem for Aaron's boss, 𝘚𝘌𝘔, too. Taking on a giant company like PGE would cost millions of dollars. But Aaron wasn't giving up. Not now. She had uncovered the truth, and she was ready to fight. At this point, Aaron's work was more important than ever. She knew it. Ed knew it. But there was a huge problem. Lawyers only get paid when they win, and winning against PGE seemed almost impossible. Ed was afraid. How could a small local law office take on a massive, powerful company? But Ed was also a brave man. He believed in Aaron. And Aaron, driven by courage, determination, and sheer hard work, kept pushing forward. Even when things got tough. The fight for the people of Hinckley lasted more than 5 years. It was a long, exhausting battle. But through it all, Aaron and Ed made a great team. As Aaron continued talking to the people of Hinckley, her name and face became well known in the town. People trusted her. They believed in her. But she had to be careful. She didn't want PGE to find out what she was doing too soon. More and more people came forward with their stories. The truth was finally coming together. Aaron worked longer and longer hours. She still had a family to take care of, and the stress was overwhelming. Her body was exhausted, her mind was drained, but she couldn't stop. Every second mattered. Then, finally, the moment arrived. It was time to take the fight directly to PGE. From their small office, Aaron and Ed sent 634 lawsuit notices to PGE's huge, expensive headquarters. It was a bold move. It was brave, but was it crazy? PGE was a powerful and dangerous enemy. Had Aaron and Ed just put themselves in serious trouble, everything depended on what happened next. PGE's lawyers realized the danger immediately. The sick people of Hinckley wanted justice, and a lot of money. More lawyers joined the battle on both sides. The lawsuits became too big for Aaron and Ed to handle alone. But Aaron refused to step back. The people of Hinckley were her friends now. She knew their stories, their struggles, and their pain better than anyone. So, Aaron, Ed, and a team of lawyers from other firms worked together, fighting for the people of Hinckley. After months of hard work, the moment of truth arrived. Important lawyers in expensive suits filled a small courtroom. PGE's top bosses sat quietly in their chairs, trying to hide their fear. Erin sat among them, her heart pounding. She was nervous. She was excited. She thought about her friends in Hinckley and the long years of struggle that had led to this moment. Then, the judge spoke. Erin held her breath. PGE was ordered to pay $333 million to the people of Hinckley. It was the largest settlement in U.S. history for this type of lawsuit. A victory, not just for Hinckley, but for ordinary people everywhere. The case gave hope to small communities and law offices across the country. It proved that even the biggest companies could be held accountable. And when PGE finally stopped poisoning the water, hundreds of lives were saved. After the lawsuit, Aaron and Ed had enough money to retire comfortably. But Erin didn't stop working. She never wanted to be a lawyer. She liked doing things her own way, and that hadn't changed. But some things mattered more than money. Her health. Her family. And the people who still needed her help. Today, she continues to fight for ordinary people against powerful companies. Her courage and determination still change lives, just like they did in Hinckley.